When it comes to beer, home brewing has become a really popular hobby.
And another thing that has really become popular, especially here on Delmarva, are small local breweries. Delmarva Life's Sean Streicher stopped by one of those breweries in Berlin to find out how its owner turned his hobby into a career.
It was the Friday before Christmas in 2008 when Brian Brushmiller says he got the news the company he was working for was closing due to the recession.
You know, Christmas presents were already bought, you know, so, and then, but like anything, sometimes somebody makes a decision for you and that pushes you into the next step of your life. And like anything in life, you just kind of have to roll with it and just try to make the lemonade out of lemons, you know.
Or in Brian's case, beer out of barley. Now, Brian was no stranger to brewing. As a matter of fact, he had been home brewing since 2007. Now, finding himself with a lot of extra time on his hands, Brian began experimenting.
Being unemployed, I had much time to make as much beer as I wanted to. So the more I made beer, and the more I gave it to people, the more people liked it, the better of a gratification I got from it. And then it became like, okay, this is really good. And just experimenting with different styles and trying to push my own limits. And then I realized, okay, we can do this on a level, we'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to do it.
But that level meant Brian had to figure out funding. So he cashed out his retirement funds, took a second mortgage on his house, borrowed money from a local bank, and rented a 125-year-old building in Berlin.
Yeah, it was a big risk, and I feel like I'm still taking risks today. I think that initial risk kind of prepped me to take these bigger risks now that we're going forth with. So.
But that risk was well worth it, as Brian opened Burley Oak Brewing Company in 2011.
I jump out of bed every morning. And I ride my bike to work pretty much every day, and I got to say, working a 16-hour day happens in a blink of an eye. There's work to be done, and it's enjoyable, and the payoff is not money, but the smiles across the bar that when someone tastes the beer.
And Brian says that those smiling faces continue to multiply, forcing Burley Oak to expand their operations. What started out as an 85-barrel system is now a 210-barrel system, and they're using that newly acquired equipment to pump out quite the variety of beer.
I mean, Brian, looking at this board, it looks like you guys have 12 beers on tap. Why do you have so many?
I think it's just a product of my ADD, constantly trying to do something new, and that's what's fun about having a small brewery. It's just, we always are trying to experiment, always trying to do something new. If you came in next week, the board would look probably totally different. So there's always something new going on, and that's really the fun part about brewing in a small brewery.
Along with pumping out some great tasting beer, that small brewery is also supporting local farmers. As Brian says, they use locally grown grain whenever possible.
So what we started doing was taking the same breed of grain and then growing it here on the shore, right here, right 15 miles down the road. And it was great to like support the local farmers, but it really turned out to be a great ingredient.
And that great ingredient helped Burley Oak receive a 98 out of 100, according to Beer Advocate magazine, ranking it as a world-class brewery. And while many would see that rating as a great source of pride, Brian says he's most proud of using his opportunity as one to help others.
Ah man, it's one of the greatest feelings ever to supply jobs for people and for them to support their families. The fact that we have 12 employees here, I pay for everybody's health care, everybody gets full health care, and everybody has a retirement plan, is the least I can do for what they do for me and what they do for Burley Oak.
Now, Burley Oak beer can be found on tap all throughout Ocean City. If you're looking for a complete list of locations, just visit our website, wboc.com.
All right. Well, many of us enjoy a good brew or two when the big game's on TV. Now we've got some delicious food to go with it. After the break, we're in the Delmarva Life kitchen making a big game chili with the chef from Irish Eyes. You won't want to miss this.
And something else you won't want to miss on television, the season premiere of The Amazing Race. Still ahead, we meet the racers. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.